and welcome to PIM Talks. This is Khushi Parekh, your host, and today we have with us a leader whose name is synonymous with innovation in banking. She is the country head of government and institutional business, e-commerce and startup at HDFC Bank, Ms. Smita Bhagat. But before all the accomplishments, responsibilities, and milestones, she was one of us, a proud alumni of R.A. Podar Institute of Management. It's a pleasure to have you here, ma'am.
Thank you, Khushi. Thank you very much for having me here. Pleasure to be back pleasure to be back here and having a chat with you.
How does it feel to be back here?
Oh, always very good. The moment you enter, you actually relive the memories. So it's always a pleasure to come here, and today more so because you're coming and trying and contributing something to the institute, and obviously interacting with all of you guys is a pleasure.
It's always good to be back from where it all started.
Yes.
Ma'am, you've made a big role in leadership in banking sector. But the students, we want to know that what made you inspire to be in the banking sector? Was it always a dream or it just came along the way?
Honestly, if you ask me, in those days, it was how many people in those times and today also know what to do. It was like this. Those times, people would want to become engineer, doctor, do MBA, chartered. MBA also not that much, chartered accountancy, and that was so. Where if you are good in your studies, then you would apply, you would appear for those exams, and if you get selected, that was your path. So with me, my father was very keen that I get into medicine, but I said medicine is not for me. So I did economics, and then and he was very supportive of that. And that time he didn't understand what MBA can get for you, and he said जो भी करना है जयपुर से कर लो. So that time I'd seen the ad of institute's exam happening, applied for it, got through. And then it was a chance meeting in Calcutta. I was there on a holiday where I met the regional head of HDFC, and he started talking to me, and he said we are opening our office there. Would you like, because in those times people would do MBA and would not like to work in smaller cities. They would all want to go to Delhi, Bombay, Bangalore, etc. So I said yes, why not? And that's how actually I got selected in HDFC Limited. And those times also was the only woman management trainee out there. But that's where actually I realized that what I was good at and what I think is the career ahead of me. So both the things happened by chance. But yes, HDFC made me realize what I was good at.
Ma'am, I can definitely relate with like what you said, like jo karna hai Jaipur se karo, because even my parents have said this to me, and I liked how you mentioned that you were the only women candidate there in HDFC during the time of training. Ma'am, from training, when we talk about internships, because internship is a very formative part of your MBA journey.
Absolutely.
So how was your internship experience? What were the learnings that you've got from there?
So, in those times, internship was more of a tick box. So, I did my training from Voltas. And the fact is, you got in a good name, good this thing, and obviously, not many industries were there in Jaipur at that time. Most of us who were doing MBA here from Podar went to Delhi or Bombay to do our internship. So, one, you get exposed to the work culture, and then you sit and observe. But I would say my job actually made me aware. Internship those times were we had to look for our own internships, and it was like this, wherever you get it and which is the good brand name, you would obviously go there. But it was the first step where you understood how people work, etc. And it used to be 2 months time at that point of time. The more interesting part was when all of us would meet on the weekends and exchange notes that who's getting more work and whose work is more interesting.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Ma'am, let's retrace your professional journey from your first position in HDFC to your current position. What were the decisions that have helped you in your professional growth?
I think transparency, honesty, and I'm a very straight talker. So I think in those times, and still, I mean, in senior management, hardly women are there. So I think that probably you say what comes naturally to you, what is good for the organization, what is good for you, be transparent and honest is something I think which helped.
Yes, ma'am. And I'm talking about artificial intelligence. It is changing industries everywhere. So, how is HDFC adapting to artificial intelligence?
So I always say in the panels where I go that AI is very glamorous to talk about right now.
ma'am.
There are not many use cases, not even in US right now. The use cases are still much lesser. Yes, AI is going to change, and that's what I say that I shouldn't be saying here, sitting here, that degrees in the present form will not be relevant anymore. You are seeing what is the disruption which is happening across the world in the job market, in the skill environment, etc. So, what is very important, what AI is going to do is, the hype which is created is not as much. The jobs are not going to go completely. It's not going to take over, but the fact is, it is going to become dominant part of your life. So it will change the way you will work. So, for example, if you say take a profession of medicine, or take a profession of a banker, or even take a profession of a legal expert, or I was meeting a young girl there who said she wants to do, something in investment analyst, etc., would not be required anymore. So people who want to become investment analyst, go in financial industry, they'll have to think about what skills they want, because today you run the data through any of your so-called chat GPTs and a lot of other stuff which is happening. You'll get the details, which is something people would do for 3, 4, 5 days, weeks, and months. So the fact is that today you need to skill yourself in a different thing, because these jobs are not going to come anymore. So the impact of artificial intelligence mainly would be a lot in how now the jobs or skills required are going to change. And that's what I think the students and parents and teachers, everyone has to understand, because even in corporates, for the first time, people are seeing that, what job, where are you getting jobs and where are the job cuts
Yes, ma'am.
happening. So for all you youngsters, I would say that please be aware of what is happening around you and upgrade your skills accordingly. Just don't go by copybook,
Yes,
because
ma'am.
that's not going to get you
Yes,
jobs.
ma'am. And it's a great piece of advice those who are about to start their career in corporate and in any jobs there that they want to.
So change is the only thing
Yeah,
constant
change
in our lives. If you keep yourself, abreast with the changes happening, keep learning, and learn how to, adopt changes in what you do,
Yes, ma'am.
then I don't think so you will ever become irrelevant. But if you do not go by what is happening, or the changes happening, however good you are, you can become irrelevant.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, also this question I'm most curious about is that you work in a very rapidly changing environment and a very high pressure environment as well. So how do you manage your professional life as well as your personal life?
I think I'm blessed. Yes, I mean, this question gets asked all the time, because being a woman, that how do you manage both sides? I think you have to be extremely disciplined, and you have to build your ecosystem well. And I think you have to even educate your family and everyone around. So I have 2 sons who think all women work. My son and my husband know how to take care of themselves. So in the sense that, people have to build an ecosystem where everybody can take care of themselves, when there is, both, I would say, men and women working. Build a ecosystem which is supportive of you whenever challenges are there, because private sector was definitely very challenging, requires a lot of work.
Commitment.
But I've been able to manage that. That is something I cherish. that I never sat in my office beyond 6 o'clock, because I used to really work non-stop. And for me, it was 9 to 6, because we are all human beings.
Yes, ma'am.
We have a limited attention span and capacity. So if you sit late, I always say today also that if you sit late, you are inefficient.
Yes, ma'am. And ma'am, speaking of balance, how do you also manage like your professional growth with your continuous learning?
So growth comes only when you learn.
Yes,
Yeah. So growth comes only when you learn, because otherwise you become irrelevant, especially in highly competitive environment where we are.
ma'am, we all have guiding lights and mentors in our life. So, who is that one person or any experience which has significantly changed the way you take decisions in your life?
I don't think so. There was one mentor. I mean, different stages in life, different people impacted. I think in my childhood years, it was my grandmother. And I personally believe she was probably the most intelligent woman I've ever come across. Uh, my father was a very big influence. My mother, I think usually all of us have our parents' big influence in our lives. Then the bosses, and very fortunate to have good bosses also, and always ready to learn, because today, whether men or women, you go through different stages in your life. It is always good to have a buddy,
Yes,
because any senior you ask, Are, what happened when this kind of situation
Yes,
you
ma'am.
came across, and they would they will tell you their experiences, and then you will figure it out. Oh, it's easy to deal with. So very important to share, have a buddy, and be confident, and never ever. I tell all women कि कभी job नहीं छोड़ना.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, you work with diverse portfolios as well. So, what inspires you to work with such diverse customer bases, like from semi-urban, urban, rural areas?
No, I have a very inquisitive mind. I've traveled all the states and union territories in the country. I've also covered a large number of districts. So, and that's because that constant uh, urge to learn about, because as a banker you have to deal with all the
Yes,
segments.
ma'am.
So I think that whole inquisitiveness and wanting to learn is what I think, that's the reason. And rural India started fascinating me once. In bank you get responsibilities also. So I've done a lot of work out there, because metro urban में तो सभी चले जाते हैं.
Yes, and
Yeah.
ma'am, as we say that the heart of India still lies in the rural India.
Oh, I can talk a lot about that, and that's what I'm going to do in my second innings as well.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, before we move to our rapid fire round, I would like to ask you any piece of advice that you would like to give our students and
Uh,
aspiring professionals who wants to make career in corporate.
so, be passionate about whatever you are doing. Be truthful and honest. Just don't do the job for the heck of it, because then you don't make a successful career. You have to be uh, honest about what you are doing, and like what you are doing.
Yes,
Because
it's very important.
it's not like our times that we would take a job and we would make a career out of it, because today things keep changing. So you have to be disciplined, you have to be, learn all the time. I think the one thing I would say, that constant learning, upskilling, skilling,
Yes.
capacity building is the key to success in today's volatile environment.
Yes, ma'am, that's a great piece of advice and also very relevant in this era. Ma'am, should we begin with the rapid fire?
Yeah,
round?
yeah.
One book that you would like to recommend to every MBA student should read.
I'm an experiential person. Right now, my article in Mint was published, and which had the headline that she says that, okay, you read books, but experience is more important, because
Yes, ma'am, definitely.
so book, I mean, there'll be a lot of books. Pointing out one book is very difficult. I would say whatever you read, experience it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your favorite memory from Kodar days?
Favorite memory? Oh, that time the director was, people would get little scared of him. उनका एक international business का class होता था.
Yes,
वो class के अंदर, I mean, the questions and answers, something would come from somewhere, and the way students would answer. So we used to always look forward to that class, and the interaction in that class. And the other thing which I remember is, we had those study tours.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
And that was the first time a lot of us went to Bombay.
Bombay.
And the management, this thing, we had no idea because we had to go with them, and went and stayed in right in the heart of Bombay, which today I would not even think of going. And it was great experience because we went and saw the businesses out there, how they were managing. And this is, I'm talking about, I don't know whether you guys know Crawford Market, and
Yes,
these,
ma'am.
which is like your Jhari Bazaar के भी
Yes,
अंदर चले जाओ आप
Yes, ma'am.
जयपुर,
Yes, ma'am.
तो वहाँ जाके हम लोग रहे थे सारे students, and it was really very very I mean those memories are still etched up. और वो मेरे को तो वो धर्मशाला जहाँ हम रहे थे वो भी याद है.
Ma'am, since you have visited so many states in India, which state is your favorite?
Right now I'm very fascinated with Bihar,
Bihar.
which nobody likes it, but I'm very fascinated because it has tremendous history. It was one time richest part of the world,
Yes.
and today it is one of the poorest. So when you go, the first university of the world was there. So all
Nalanda.
those things are very very fascinating.
Yes. Thank you, ma'am, for sharing your valuable insights and share your energy with us.